Here's the deal, fellas. We have grown very tired of the way people think about this game. Okay? What they think is good and what they think is bad. People are stupid. Okay? There's always a way to use something, even if other people say that it's terrible. Alright? And we're going to change the game. We're going to change everything by collecting something that cannot be collected and testing it in a way that no one else has tested it ever. Besides maybe once. I think I saw it once on a Hornet. Okay? So there's ships that people say suck at combat. Alright? Like ship to ship combat. And there's ships that I also think, a lot of those are built for ground combat, to be honest. They have guns that have good vision, good control, and they're able to take out ground targets pretty quickly, right? But they're not so good at ship to ship combat, which makes them non meta. And there's kind of two things that have been happening when it comes to first off, we need to also find some MDB 30s to try. But when it comes to fighters, for instance, like we were in the Polaris the other day, it wasn't upgraded or anything. The top turrets have four size, 3 or 4 cannons, maybe size 5s, I don't remember. Fighters usually either close the distance and get really close to your ship where you can't really hit them, or they stay long range and they zigzag around and your bullets can't hit them because things like the Polaris, for instance, they'll use auto target and the bullets will just whiff because they don't travel fast enough, and you got to be able to predict where the ship will be to hit it, where it's going to try and go, which is very difficult. Or you can have repeaters or something on it and saturate the whole area and get a few hits. Okay. But we're going to be using a weapon that I never see anybody use. Everyone always talks trash about it. Okay.
Thanks to our award-winning Klesher Cares program, a percentage of
How do
all
I
of
still have
our
a crime
work
stat
goes
too?
towards helping those less fortunate. Together, we can turn your wrongs into a whole lot of right.
How am I still here? Hello? We should be done. We should be done. This is from killing a guy who was going to kill us during the event. We got stuck in prison. Because people are trying to pirate and then they lose a gunfight because they're camping in corners like little bitches. And then they crime stat report you. And I try to pay it off and I accidentally clicked send myself to jail. Okay. So this weapon is something I don't think people understand. And it is the Banu Singe Cannon. Okay? Everyone says that it's ass. Everyone says that it's not useful. It sucks at combat, all of that, right? But they're using it on fighters 1v1. All right? To put this into perspective, the Singe Cannon, basically I used to use the mass drivers on the Saber a long time ago. And that was all about going in and just hard hitting an opponent and flying off and then hard hitting an opponent and flying off. People can say that those weapons suck all they want, but they suck in 1v1s and they suck in straight up fights. Now, if we take the Banu into perspective, the Banu work together as a group, as a community. They don't just go off solo. So when you have a Banu defender, their goal is to go in there and first off, they're just trying to distract people and stuff. But in a 1v1, the Banu defender probably going to get its ass kicked. But if you have 2, 3, 4 Banu defenders, that means that they can target one ship and destroy it like instantaneously. Boom. So if you got a 4v4, you engage in the fight, boom, one ship's gone. Boom, one ship's gone. So if y'all work as a unit, you should be able to snap to and kill guys, right? And then it got me thinking a little bit because the Singe Cannon has 1500 range, which is a lot smaller than laser repeaters and laser cannons and stuff. You know, don't get me wrong there. So ships, like fighters, are going to be able to outrange your defensive guns with the Singe cannons. So your pilot is going to have to close the distance on it. That's going to be the weakness here. But they have 3000 move speed. And like laser repeaters, I think have like 2000, 2500 or something like that. I think cannons are like 2000. So if there was ever going to be a chance for you to be able to smack a ship that's trying to do little circles around you, it's going to be...
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
We're at Everest Harbor right now.
Please visit us again.
It's going to be with a fast-moving projectile. Either saturate the area or go fast-moving projectile. But what this has kind of gotten me to do is think about this a little bit more. So the Banu Defender, there's a few tests that we need to run. First off, the Banu Defender,
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle
the Singe
Retrieval
cannons
System.
have like 1000 or 1200 alpha damage or something, right? And size 1 and size 2 shields have like 2000 or 4000 health or something like that. So, oh yeah, we're going to test the Sulian as well. So I got a few different things to try here. So for the Banu Defender, what we could do is keep 2 Singe cannons and then either get 2 NDB 30s, and that would give us sustained DPS and burst DPS in one ship. Or we could potentially also go distortions, and then the Singe cannons would be there to break the enemy shields, and then the distortions would keep their shields down. And then after they're distorted, you can just pick them off. The flip side to this, so there's like 2 versions there if we want to make our single Banu Defender
Vehicle
better,
selected.
I think.
Please visit us again.
But there's also a thing where it's like, I don't think I have an actual, there's also a thing where I think it takes usually 2 or 3 hits to break size 1, size 2 shields or whatever. The Polaris, the top turrets, let's just say, you have 4 guns on 1 quad turret. So that would be 4,000 to 4,800 damage or whatever for 4 shots with that. But you have 2 turrets on the top of the Polaris, which means you would have 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 damage and burst with those 2 turrets working together. Moving at 3,000 speed, they should be able to rip a fighter apart. And if fighters aren't expecting the Singe cannon, they're going to get ones tapped. Like, they're going to get smacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. And so we need these guns, and we're going to put them on some stuff. But also, these guns have a blue laser, which isn't very common, which is also another reason why I want to make them useful, because I like being different. And I also don't like my distortion weapons being in a combination with lasers. You know, like red lasers. I want all blue. NB 130s you can't really buy anymore, so you got to find them. And I believe these Singe cannons also have like a small distortion effect. I want to see if increasing power does anything. In any case, the idea here is that the distortions will be able to shut down the ship, and then the Singe cannons are going to be there to break the ship's shields. Now, normally, if you do laser cannons and distortions together, you either have to separate your firing groups and rotate between the two so you don't destroy the ship as you're distorting it. But with these, you get that one burst, and if you're holding down the trigger, it doesn't start again until you hold down that again. And then it doesn't fire. You can just sit there and keep holding it and keep shooting with your other gun until you want to do a second burst. So you should have like 2,000 to 14,000 or 2,000 to 2,400 damage with 2 Singe cannons, which is enough to basically kind of break through some of the smaller shields, I think. And then you'd have the distortions to keep them down. But we need to collect.
Self-destruct on. Self-destruct. Cancel.
We need to collect some of these Banu Singe cannons. This is Everest Harbor, so it should be around Hurston here. And we can do like a test. Also, these got increased to size 3s at some point. So, I'm gonna see if I can find like a close contract real quick. Also, I think I've kind of made the decision to go with the StarCraft theme a little bit more with the org. We have, or we're going to have, basically all the ships that we need, and we're going to earn the Polaris in game. So, if I do decide to put more funds into the game, I'm going to buy not Sulians necessarily, but the skins for the Sulians, and we can earn the Sulians in game. And then we need to buy Banu Defenders in game, but I might get one Banu Defender because I think org-wise, the alien ships are more versatile. So, like, they have longer fuel capacities, they have pretty good firepower, and they're multi-roles, so they can, you know, hold more troops, they can hold more supplies,
Shields
all of that
off.
good stuff, right? So, if you're in a situation that you need help, do you want to, like, call in a bunch of fighters that like need fuel capacity,
Quantum
all of
travel
that, or do you want to call
engaged.
in some Banu
Quantum
defenders,
travel complete.
which can fly there on their own, handle a small fight, could potentially load up boxes and cargo, or dropship other people on the ground?
Quantum travel engaged.
Although I do think this ship would look pretty good with some gold and red laser guns. It's crazy because the jets on the outside are like blue and green, but the inside it's red. But I do think having some attritions on this would look pretty good because the attritions have like gold strapped on it. But the Banu Singe cannons are just, they're sleek. They're very sleek. I don't know how I feel about using them on a turret though yet. because
Quantum travel.
turrets usually like having like some of that da-da-da-da-da, but the Singe cannons are very precise weapons. But also, although they require a lot of power to use, you don't need a whole lot of pips to activate them because you just charge them and you shoot. Also, these ships are very Independence Day like. But yeah, so it's an energy weapon that doesn't really require, like, it requires a lot of energy to charge, but it doesn't really require a lot of power to weapons to use, which also helps with ships like the Redeemer and the Valkyrie because those ships want like full shields. They want full power to shields and stuff. So you get good, strong firepower, and also see the Banu Defender has 4 guns, but the Valkyrie and the Redeemer can have 8 guns on target. So you're basically getting 2 Banu Defenders that could just one-shot fighters out of the sky.
Shields on.
Let's do that. Can I gimbal? Neutralize target. We got ignite missiles.
Contact.
I think Banus, they really want to
Missile
like
locked. Missile locked. Target destroyed.
Okay. I think these are ships that want to just go in and like ruin something. So I think Rattlers would also be really good with this. Shoot a Rattler off, smack them with the Singe cannons. You want to get through the shields as quickly as possible and damage them as quickly as possible. These are like fast in, fast out attack craft, I think. And in numbers, that's where you would get in. So you'd come in, you'd shoot a Rattler, then you just go and smack them with your Singe cannons, and you'd be done.
Shields off.
Okay. So let's go here. Lorville.
Weapons off.
I didn't realize, so there's green on the main part of the ship, and then there's blue on the side. I guess it's like different colors for their combinations of technology. Because if you put red lasers on the outside, it really wouldn't fit the outside vibes that much. So we're going to see what the claim time on the ship
Quantum
is.
travel engaged.
Psycholock friendlies forward. I think the Banu Defender is also a very overlooked ship. Like, fighter-wise, it does the job. That's the thing with, like, the Sulian and the Banu, the alien ships. They're not really the best fighters, but their multi-role ability makes them better ships, I think, in general. Like, I don't remember what we were talking about the other
Quantum
day,
travel
but there was
complete.
something going on, and we're talking about the Sulian. I think it was like a Connie thing or something, because it's like a Connie, like an Andromeda, has a crew of 5, and you have uh, like 96 SU of cargo, and you have size 5 guns and all that stuff. If you have 5 Sulians together, that's 15 size 3s and 60 size 2 missiles, which is more than the Andromeda has. And you'd have 30 SU of cargo. That's why I think they are overlooked. So, like, this Banu has 3 quantum fuel, which is pretty good. And I think the Sulian has like 1 or 2. So the Sulian isn't as good, but I think they're better than a lot of other fighters.
Warning. Warning.
Okay, so we're gonna land. Go ahead and do this. And then we also want to test the Sulian with this as well, because if the Singe Cannon distortion thing works the way we think it will, that means that the Sulian, you could potentially run 2 Singe Cannons and 1 distortion gun and have a similar effect. So, like, if a Gladius or something fought you, you would open up with Rattlers, try to weaken its shield, hit it with the Singe Cannon, and then just distort it to death, and it would be crippled and done. Can I not self-destruct the ship here? Oh. I don't feel like I'm hearing the ship correctly. Hmm. See if I have a tractor beam. Okay, so we're gonna have to get those off some other way, I guess. But we do get to see what the respawn time is, so we get to know what we're dealing with here. There's a fighter, so I would assume a couple of minutes, but...
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle
let's
Retrieval
see
System.
here.
Your insurance claim has
13
been sent.
minutes. It's not
Please
exactly
visit
the
us
best,
again.
but
Goodbye.
this also applies to the Lightning, though. I was looking at the Lightning before this. So the Lightning has 8 guns as well, and if they can hold 8 size 3s, but I think they're size 2s on the Lightning, so I don't think it's going to work the same, but you could turn those size 2s into distortions. But if you get like 6 to 8 Singe cannons, you would have basically the same firepower as a Valkyrie or Redeemer with a single pilot. But you wouldn't have the flexibility of like just shooting somebody, you know. 8 mass drivers would be kind of crazy too. That's a lot of alpha. Doom. 8, just 8 full-on mass drivers, just doom, take them out. We're gonna have to drop a lot of money on armor at some point. That's what's crazy about it to me.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval
Alright,
System.
so Banu Defender.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Thank you. Please visit us again.
What's crazy to me is that, like, this is a sci-fi space game, and I know that people want to, like, min-max all the bullshit. But they're talking about hitboxes with armor. Your hitbox is bigger because your armor's bigger. It's like, no shit. But I like looking big, you know? I'm bigger than you. It's called style points, you know? That hitbox, yeah, it's a little bit bad, but, like, come on now. Like, you're telling me the hitbox is going to be that big of a difference in a gunfight. You're not fucking Shroud, okay? You're not even close. Until you get to that level, that hitbox don't mean shit, okay? Very minimal. Same thing with female characters. Just fucking play a character that looks like you, Jesus. Like, you know what will make me not use VoIP in this game a lot? Is that if every female character I run into is a fucking dude. That's gonna be so immersive breaking to me. It's gonna be trans citizen.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Oh yeah, we can pull the Sulian up here. Get the paint on it. I got the Sulian back just to test it and stuff. I don't want to go buy some more, so it's what it is. Defender really doesn't need a skin though. I mean, it's already pretty good, but I basically was looking over our whole fleet thing though, and essentially the majority of our fleet is gold. Kind of crazy. Like, I have gold skins that I could put on the Sabres as well, but we don't have gold gladiator skins or gold transport helicopter skins.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the
Or
following
like
location.
gold liberators or anything like that.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
When it comes to the Sulian, I think I want to do,
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I'll either do laser repeaters or attritions, just to match like the red and like gold and stuff. But if the Banu Defenders
Your
stuff
vehicle has been
works,
delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
I think we'll be fine. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! You are not paralyzed! .13 minutes. Basically 4 or 5 minutes per Banu Cinch Cannon. It costs 5,000, but if we could sell these and make money back, 5,000 to claim. If we sell them for 100k a piece or something, be solid. I believe it's like Alt K is what we need here. Ooh, child, things are gonna be easier. Ooh, they're gonna be brighter. It's been a while since I did the ship unlock.
Systems activating. Systems
Maybe
on.
left Alt K? No? Control K? No? No? Okay, let's hold F. Or was it Alt F? Actions. Ship systems. Nope. Weapon systems. Nope. Vehicle ports. Right Alt plus K. Ports lock all. Right Alt K. So now they should be unlocked. Okay, let's do that. Oh god. I'm not seeing any readings giving me any information here. But now we go here, here, nothing. let's try to self-destruct this ship. Ports are unlocked, so maybe after the ship is destroyed. If this doesn't work, we might have to actually fly the ship to, like, New Babbage.
Self-destruct on.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle
Alright, so
Retrieval
we'll
System.
respawn the ship.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
And then we'll pull out the Sulian.
Your vehicle, please visit us again. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle, please visit us again.
I know I had a med gun on me. I don't know where it went. Yeah, 8 cinch cannons would be like 8,000 damage. Actually, like, I think it's 1,200 damage or something for a cinch cannon shot. It's 12 or 14. If it's 12, that's like 9,600 damage. Instantaneously. Poof. Looking nice, looking nice. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, Sulian has 12 size 2 missiles. 3 size 3s. Big target, but very sexy. And also 6 SU storage capacity. So it's basically a fat Gladius, but with more missiles and more storage and living quarters, which I think makes it a perfect ship for an org, because it means you can give these out to your org mates and they have something that can fight, that can bring you supplies, that can pick up supplies, that can move things around. You say you have like 50 of these things. then you basically have 50 fighters plus like 300 SCU storage capacity. See, but this has red on the back, so I think we needed attritions for this. The gold from the attritions would look really good. Methinks. Methinksy a lot. And the red would fit. Now, better than Singe cannons? I don't know. But,
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle, please visit us again.
higher DPS though, and with rattlers it would make you more deadly close range. But I still feel like distortions would be better. Because in a ship like that, you don't really want to get into a DPS race with another ship. Because you're a bigger target. But if you could distort the enemy down, they just die. This place is made by Europeans. You can tell. You cannot telleth, my friends.
Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is a serious and dangerous offense.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Security reserves the right. Next stop, Central Station. Now arriving, Central Station. Please watch your step when disembarking the train.
Now arriving at Central Station.
Now arriving from Pizza Spaceport. Stand by and let passengers
Decided to take a few days for myself.
Those ready to take their career to the next level, be sure to apply for Hurston's annual management training intensive.
How are you getting by?
up to anything exciting?
How are things?
How you
Well,
been? Good?
if you say so.
What's up?
Met someone at the TISA spaceport. Offered me decent creds to courier backpack to a friend in Lowville. Guess
Now arriving from TISA Spaceport. Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding. Now arriving. TISA Spaceport. Please watch your step when disembarking the train. Arriving. Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding. Be considerate to your fellow travelers. Do not lock doors. Consult local employment offices for job opportunities in a variety of fields.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Welcome to the ASI Vehicle Retrieval System. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Vehicle selected.
Please visit us again.
Please visit us again. Yeehaw. Yeehaw! Okay. We got a lot more stuff here than I thought. Attrition. 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 Save. Gatak. Sulian. Gakaksu. So there's what we got to do. We need to, I guess, go to Microtech. Or maybe I need a buddy. Let's go to Microtech and see if we can pull the guns off. And then if we can park a ship next to it. Spawn the Banu Defenders. And then just keep stocking up on weapons, you know what I mean? I wonder if, because the
Systems
Banu
activating. Systems on.
Defender is made for a bigger alien, if wearing bigger armors would affect this or not.
Launch complete. Shields off. Landing gear up.
Microtech. Microtech.
Quantum travel engaged.
I mean, that's a pretty cozy looking seat there, fellas. Pretty big, pretty big. Pretty big indeed. What does that do? Yeah, like there's a lot of two-seater ships that don't have beds, fighter-wise. So it's interesting because you can log off on these. So you can't tell me that these are like, as much as people say that the Banu don't use biological stuff in their ships, you can't tell me that and look at the Banu Defender. This is 100%, like that isn't carved, that is bone. I don't care who you are, that is not, you don't make something like this and then have tubes and stuff going through it. That's not carved. 100% bone. Guaranteed. It's an organic ship. Maybe not organic in the sense that like it's using blood and stuff, but like it's a carcass. 100%. I didn't look at the fuel of the Sulian, but I think it has like 1 or 2 GM fuel, so it's a little bit less than the Banu Defender.
Quantum travel engaged.
New Babbage, yeah. Imagine this is like a fantasy MMO
Quantum travel complete.
where you could like portal to other planets instead of flying spaceships. Would be absurd.
Engines off.
There's no way. So maybe we need to go to the places of old. To spawn a ship.
Engines on. Launch complete. Landing gear up. Shields on.
Wonder if anyone actually still goes to the
Shields off. Quantum travel engaged. Quantum fuel, 75%. Quantum travel complete.
Damer. Don't mind if I do, Damer.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
Imagine a tier 5 Banu Defender.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
I haven't been here in probably about 10 years. This used to be the place where people did all the things. You know what I'm saying?
Shields on.
Maybe I had to have my shields on for this to work. People still come here. That's crazy. Absolutely insane.
Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear down.
Dude, this thing flies, man. Even with the landing gear down.
Landing gear up. Shields off. Systems off.
Maybe the shields stop it. See if anyone's on Discord that could help, because I am confuzzled right now. Maybe see if I can Google something. Hey, man. You alive?
Yep. How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm just trying to figure something out because I'm trying to dupe these Singe cannons, and I can't get them off the Defender, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Are you able to take them off in the console and put them on some other ship?
I mean, maybe. I haven't tried it yet. People said something about that earlier, but yeah, maybe that would.
I couldn't get them off that Defender that I found. It seems like they're just stuck to it.
Yeah. It's the same with this. Like, I opened the ports, I tried turning off the shields, I self-destructed it in the hangar, I've flown it to a couple different landing areas. Still couldn't get it off. Maybe they know it's too powerful. I don't know.
But you do, if you own it, it should be able to go on a different ship through the console or the whatever Moby.
Yeah, I'll fly back to Lorville and try it. I want to try something with this ship anyway because
Systems on.
I got to thinking about it. Like a solo Defender, I think either running against like other fighters, I think running like 2 Singe cannons with like either NDB 30s or distortion cannons could be good. Because I think it
Yeah.
takes either 2 or 3 hits to get through like a size 1, size 2 shield.
Launch complete.
And I think
okay.
they do a little bit of distortion damage. They do like 20 distortion damage, I think, whereas like distortion cannons and stuff do like
Landing
60
gear
distortion.
up.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I didn't know they did both types of damage.
I think they did, unless they changed it. But I was gonna rock them on the Sulian as well and test it out, but I don't think the color scheme works as well. But I like the idea of using blue lasers because nobody uses them, you know. And
I agree.
but you can't buy NDBs anymore either. You gotta find them.
Yeah. Which we could do executive hangers to get them.
Yeah. I guess if I'm already in Crusader, I believe I can get Singe cannons at, I don't know if you can at Seraphim, but I can at Orson.
I've been wanting to run Ruin, because they have those size 4, size 5 distortion scatter guns.
Oh.
That's one place to get them. Distortion seems like it's been effective, so I'd love to play with that too.
Shields off.
I was like, I try to find some stuff to do like distortion piracy and stuff, just to like,
Travel engaged.
Mm-mm.
Quantum
but
travel complete.
I really want to just see if the Singe cannons can work good versus fighters, like it could change a lot. But attritions and like lasers and stuff, they have a longer range, so like the fighters would be able to stay very far away from you and like shoot you down over time. But if you close the distance and like shot them, it would only take like a couple of shots to actually destroy them. So I don't know.
What's the range on the Singes? It's short?
1500, I think.
Oh, wow. I always thought they were the long reach.
They used to be long range, but I think they changed it, and now it's like the lasers and stuff. They have like 2200 or 2400 or something, and they have more DPS, but um, their velocity is like 1500 or 2000 or something, whereas the Singe cannons are 3000.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if they're fast enough to just insta-tab people when they're doing their like circle-y bullshit.
Yeah.
And then also it's like because I'm pretty sure like 2 to 4 shots to get through a ship's shield. So like ships that people never try these on, like the Valkyrie and the Redeemers, and even the Lightning, have like 8 gun slots. Although I think the Lightning has size 2 gun slots now, so maybe you can't run 8. But those other ships you could run 8, and that means I think each Singe cannon is doing like it was either 1000 or 1200 alpha damage. So you'd be doing like 9,000, 10,000 damage just with like one burst of those guns, you know? So,
Yeah.
you know, even the Valkyrie, you could run like the pilot has the front 4 guns now, and then you could, you know, put different weapons on the turrets, or you could still put Singe cannons on the turrets.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know if you need help with that, or you know what I can do to help you do the testing or whatever you need.
Yeah, I gotta be able to dupe these first. This is just a loner ship, and then if I can get more, I can start putting them on stuff and testing it. But I can put them on the Polaris and all that. It'd be interesting if the Polaris's power plant like increased their damage or something, but I doubt it.
Yeah, maybe it'll give them like the capacitor being bigger, so you get just more shots.
Well, they don't really need like the Singe cannons don't like that's another reason I think they'd be good on the drop ships because they take a lot of power to run, but they don't really require pips because their fire rate's so low. Like by the time you shoot your first shot, like it just regens and then you just shoot it again. Like because it's like the mass driver cannons. It charges up and then it shoots.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I'd love to play with those. I built my Hornet with all the mass drivers. Came to play with them this patch.
Yeah. I don't know how much damage the mass drivers do. I think that the mass drivers do less damage, but they have like more range or something.
Yeah.
They do like half the damage or something like that. But no, I got to thinking about this because I was watching videos and comments and stuff over the Singe cannons because apparently they got changed to size 3s on the Banu Defender, and so they had a damage buff or whatever before, and then people were saying like they were all right, but they, you know, they're not good, they're not meta or whatever. And then I just got to thinking about it, and I was like, the Banu are like a collective. Like they don't really solo stuff. They work as a group. So it makes sense to me that like a high alpha damage weapon, because people were like, its range sucks. It's supposed to be a sniper. And I think that what's going on is that it's supposed to be like you attack a Banu merchantman or something, the defenders come in swarms, and they're just gonna run you over. Like that's their thing. They're gonna run you over. They're gonna run away. So like, if you have like a 4v4, and a Banu defender would lose like a 1v1, But if you have 2 or 3 Banu defenders shooting at the same target at the same time and they insta kill your fighter, then the numbers game changes. They
Yeah.
just come in one tap one. It's a 4v3, 4v2, 4v1. Like, I think it'd be pretty interesting. That's just why I think that even the Polaris thing would be kind of interesting, because a lot of fighters that I've played against, like they either, like when I was in the Connie, they would hug my ass to where I couldn't even get around and be able to shoot them. But if you're in a turret and you have laser repeaters and stuff on there, they'll just come up and then they'll dip back down, and you're only going to hit like 2 or 3 shots anyway, like, or 4. You know, they try to avoid the turret damage. But a Singe Cannon can do all that damage instantly, all in one hit. Like, as soon as they show themselves, you can just pop them. And it'd be kind of interesting. But
Yeah. I like that.
and if they want to like play the long game and they want to like stay out of the Singe Cannon's range, then that just gives room for the bigger ship to turn around. Like my Connie, I can fight fighters long range, no problem. But if they get close to me, I can't turn. You know, they're just in the
Yeah.
middle. It's,
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially when you're saying that they hit, like they're getting your view for like 1 or 2 shots. And it's like that. It'd be nice to just max out what you can hit in that.
yeah.
Because they're normally within your range. So range, like you're saying, isn't that, or you can close it.
Yeah. Well, like on the Connie, for instance, like running the Rattlers and the size 5s, you can eat through someone's shields when they're coming in, and then those Singe Cannons would be able to just like one tap them. I think it's 1,000. It's either 1,000 or 1,200 damage per cannon. So you just be able to like smack somebody for like 2k, which would be pretty good. Whereas like the repeaters, like they shoot fast, but they're doing like 700 damage or something a shot. So I don't know. You're looking at 2 or 3 shots, like 2 or 3 seconds to like equal out damage, I guess. But you also have to hit your target. They have a slower velocity.
Yeah.
So,
Worth exploring. That's for sure.
yeah, it's hard to do. The other thing is just that since you can't get these in game, if I am able to dupe them or whatever, it's just like there's not that many people running them, and you could start a store or whatever too. But
Mm-hmm.
where is my hangar? Dude, I haven't been at Orison in so long. I'm starting
Where
to.
do you headquarter at?
It used to be Orison all the time, and then I've been at Lorville for the last few wipes or whatever. And then this time I was very tempted to go to I think it was Area 18 or New Babbage.
Mhm.
But I don't know, because I like, basically they have 890 jump missions and stuff over there, so I've never played in those areas to know exactly what unique missions they have. And I've been doing bunkers and stuff for so long that the 890 jump missions are cool. So
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting because Area 18, it's like where all the traders and stuff go, so it's always kind of populated, it seems like, and it has cool armors there because you can get the stuff in like red, and they have the black and gold light armor that I used to wear all the time over there.
Yeah.
But also like the orbits, so like I like Hurston because like originally it's because it has the smallest orbit, so you don't have to wait as long for it to like get around and like go next to another planet, and then you get like a shorter distance. But ArcCorp is like in the middle of Hurston and Microtech and stuff, so it would take you less time to fly from like ArcCorp to Pyro Gateway and then Hurston and Microtech if you were going to do all that and wait for the orbits. But then if I go to Microtech, you can buy hacking chips there, which means that I could just, because like right now, if I want to farm my Artemex armor, which is part of the reason, like when the game comes out, I think I want to team up with Hurston because they have Artemex and they have good lasers and stuff, and they're supposed to be like makers of like ballistic, not ballistic, but like warheads and stuff for like missiles and things.
Mhm.
And but if I want to farm it right now, I have to like fly to Grimhex or New Babbage, buy hacking chips and stuff, and then fly all the way back to Hurston, or go and pick them up and then store them at Hurston. You know, but if I was at New
Yeah.
Babbage, then I could buy I could just log in at my home thing, buy the stuff, put it in my thing, travel to Hurston, and then just reset my spawn at Hurston and farm it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Welcome.
But I'm not a big fan of New Babbage either, so
Yeah, I'm not either.
yeah. That train used to be so fucked up. My computer wouldn't load the game fast enough, and I would get stuck on the train for like 4 hours. It was yeah, just painful enough. But it's nice that it has ground vehicle spawns. Like if you were in an org right now, it would be the easiest because like you could just pull out a ship and then everyone could go and pull out a geo and just load up and you'd be done.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so true.
Okay. Oh, I forgot what I was doing, but I'm pretty sure I was buying weapons. Oh, yeah, I'm starting to lean into alien ships for org stuff. Like the more I keep thinking about it, like as much as everyone likes like the Gladius and the Hornets and all those, like I think those are fine for players to earn on their own and have as like their own personal fighter. But
Mhm.
I think org wise, the alien fighters are better because I've been thinking about this a lot. Like the Sulian, for instance, is a starter ship, but it has the same gun power as a Gladius, and it has more missiles than a Gladius. But it also has more fuel capacity and living quarters with a bed and 6 SEU cargo space. And then even if you had like, say you had an Andromeda with a crew of 5, if you had those 5 in Sulians, you get 15 size 3 guns, 60 size 2 missiles, and 30 SU of cargo. So you'd have like a third of the cargo space of an Andromeda, but everyone would be able to fly their own ship, and collectively in a group, they have a lot more firepower than like, you know, people would probably want to deal with. And then the alien ships have Gravtech, which in the future, with aerodynamic atmospheric flight, they're probably going to be the best ones at like hovering in place to provide ground support. And they have the bigger fuel capacities, so you don't have to fuel the ships as often. So they're more self-sufficient. So I think like org-wise, it makes more sense to be like, you know, like we're gonna fly the Banu Defender over here, and then you have like 50 of your mates and like Banu Defenders or like Sulians, and then they can just log off in those ships. And then if you come under attack or whatever, they can just log on and then come and help you, which I think is more useful, like compared to a Hornet or something. Like they're gonna be flying a Hornet out there, and then dropping off or well, they'd be flying it out there and they can't, they don't have a bed or anything. They don't have,
The shuttle is preparing to depart.
like, they have to have a carrier ship somewhere to deal with the Hornets to like
Right.
help them. Um, and then the other things like the Banu Defender, for instance, has like it has 2 beds, which so you could have 2 people on that ship log off. So if you had 2 different players that were both able to log on and off the ship and use it, then you could just alternate who's flying it or whatever, like day or night or whatever. And then also they could hold people and act as a dropship because you only have to have 1 pilot. So like you could easily just pile multiple people in there, drop them off, and it can hold cargo boxes. So it's like a lot of flexibility there. Like even like medical, like
Approaching next station.
the Banu Defender could fly in, pick up 2 injured people, stick them in the bed, and then fly them back to the ship.
Last call for passengers.
So that's
The
just,
shuttle
Oh
is
yeah.
preparing to
I
depart.
don't know,
Yeah.
more useful, I think, in just general.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Buying them in game is going to be kind of a problem. It's going to cost a lot of money, but it's it'll be alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some skins for them and stuff though. I figure 10 or 20 or something instead of buying Sulians, and then basically you could buy all of them in game when the game's finished and then give them out to new players or whatever that join the org.
Oh, right.
Like, use this, make some money, but if we call, you gotta come help us. That's basically, that's the deal.
Right. Yeah.
And then the Banu Defenders will be like an elite guard unit for the Merchantman, I think. So it's just,
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
was like, people don't think of the Merchantman as a carrier. But I think in a sense it kind of is, because the Banu Defenders have such high like fuel capacity compared to other fighters. They have like 3 quantum fuel, like a little over 3 quantum fuel, which is like, I mean, that's pretty damn good. It's, and it can have like 2 to 4 people on a ship. You could do ground missions and stuff and all that with a Banu Defender. You could move cargo. You could move people to and from the Banu Merchantmen for like buying goods and stuff. And all they'd have to do is refill at the Banu. So like you park the Banu Merchantmen somewhere, and then the Banu Defenders could just fly around and do whatever they want. And then if anyone ever attacked the Banu Merchantmen, you just have all the Defenders like quantum over and start fighting.
Oh yeah.
Interesting ship. Compared to like a fight, like if you used a human fighter, like you could try and do that, but you'd have to refill like constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't pick up any neat shit.
Yeah, they're a strong, independent fighter.
Yeah.
You know, and like you can load 5, 10 people on one. You know, or like a Hornet, it is 2 at max. You know.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you can't pick up like any knickknacks. Like if you're like in a merchantman and you have Banu Defenders, and they go and do ground missions and they find like guns and armors and stuff like that, they can stick it in a box and bring it back to the merchantman and drop it off and sell it. You know.
Yeah.
Guns. Not Omnisty cannons. Ballistic Gatlings. Size 6 Gatling gun. Oh, I do love me some Gatlings. Ooh, 85B. I watched a video the other day with a dude who's pirating around Yella, and it seems like apparently, I mean, they were using Avenger Warlock, but apparently they just like float out in the asteroid belt and they're looking for like the solo miners, the vultures and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's
then,
funny.
yeah, but the Warlock was apparently really good. I've always been kind of interested in it, but I don't really like the Titan that much. But he was using, I think, size 4 distortion or size 4 laser gun, and then 2 distortion cannons, and then the Warlock has an EMP. He just ran in and shot him, EMP'd him, and it was done.
That's awesome. I've been playing with that Hawk a bit to play around with the EMP.
Oh, the Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's like really good, but I don't like how it looks, to be honest. But
Yeah. It looks like the head of an ant or something. It looks really weird.
well, it's a kit bash of the Hornet. If it's the same ship I'm thinking of, like originally, like it was a Hornet, and then they took the parts and reorganized it and sold it to see if people liked it or not, and people bought it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
As far as I know, like I'm pretty sure that's the ship. That's why they started doing the whole like reusing parts from older ships to like make new ships. That was like the first one, and I was like, oh god, it looks bad, but people bought it, so fuck it. I could have swore you could buy distortions at the Orison place.
Oh yeah, I know Grim has the cannons and stuff, but
Yeah. Well, they used to have. The sucker punches here, I thought. Sucker. Oh, they're selling bombs. Colossus bomb. It's crazy. Maybe it's on a stand somewhere. If it's at the space station, I'm gonna be a little upset because I would have just flown there. That was a waste of time. Yeah, someone was I don't know what was going on. They were trying to argue with me, I guess, on Reddit about the Perseus being able to like be somewhat competitive at like scaring off some capital ships. And they brought up the Javelin, and I wasn't even really talking about the Javelin, but then I started looking at the Javelin and I was like, I think you actually could probably beat it with smaller ships. Like the top size 7 turrets, I went and found videos of like when people did the tour of the Javelin and you could set in the turret and stuff. The firing angles suck. They have like barely any way to like turn or anything. It doesn't even look like they can turn backwards. And then they can't shoot through each other like forwards. And then there's a huge gap between the top and there's like 3 bottom turrets that are size 7s, but there's like a huge gap because the bottom turrets are like in the middle of the ship and the top turrets are on the side of the ship. and then it has like 2 quad size 9 like big lasers and giant torps. And the dude was talking about how those big quad size 9s and the size 12 torps would tear a Perseus apart. And I was like, if you're using those on a Perseus, you already got problems. But then you look at the big ass engines in the back, and I was like, you could hide a whole fucking Kraken or something behind the engines on the Javelin. And there's like, so it's the missiles that would be like the biggest threat. Like if you got on it, you could, and then he was talking about having like it only takes 12 people to crew the Javelin. And I was like, at that point, you're not even worried about a Perseus. You're worried about people boarding you, because I'll just go in there and kill you and take your Javelin. Like, so, because he was talking about how like he was like the Javelin has so many size 7 guns. And I was like, well, the Javelin is like a $3,000 ship. The Perseus is like a $700 ship. So you could get like 3 or 4 of them for the same cost, which is like 8 size 7s, which is more than they would need to fight on one side of the Javelin, because there's only basically 3 that they could shoot at any one time. And then there's like 100 crew, like 80 to 100 crew or whatever for the Javelin, which would be like 24, or no, it'd be like 16 Perseus fully crewed, which is 32 size 7 turrets. Which, that's a lot of fucking turrets. But
that's a lot of turrets.
Yeah. But I fully expect CIG to nerf the Perseus' speed into the ground so it can't hunt capitals. It's only supposed to scare them. And I don't even think I don't think it's going to be like a ship that you send out and it like goes and solos a Polaris or whatever. I think it's supposed to, the size 7 ballistics are going to be able to damage the PDS turrets. And as soon as the PDS turrets are down, you just torp the shit out of it and it's done.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yep. And it should still work for the Javelin too, because the Squadron 42, they use the size 9 torps on the big ass Kingship. So, granted, they did shoot some size 12 torps in that thing, so I'm not going to say that you're going to completely run over a Javelin with size 9 torps, but pretty much every RSI like Navy ship has weak engines. I think the Perseus is going to suffer from the same thing, but all of them break off, and as soon as you destroy the engines, the ship is basically dead in the water, so that's all you really got to do.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Should be
Vehicle selected. Stamp your vehicle. Please
a
visit
good time.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I look forward to those huge battles.
Yeah, there's sort
But
of
I kind of side like you do, where it's like I always call it like an anti-meta. Like everyone goes this one direction. I always like to kind of be like, well, no, that's just kind of like the hive mind. I think there might be another way, and it tends to work out pretty good.
That's what I'm saying too, but it's like you can't win people over to do it. And it's like it's worked for me for every single game I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and I think it's more fun too. Like, basically my thought process on it really isn't even just meta. It's that, one, I think meta people are kind of dumb because they focus way too hard on like DPS and shit. But 2 is just like, if you're playing a shooter game, for instance, the meta is like best of the best top end gear, all right? And in any game, the meta guns do help you win, but it doesn't really override your skill usually. And so my question usually is like, what's the cheapest, least, like what is the lowest amount of gear that I need to kill someone in meta gear? And that's always how I've practiced, which always makes me a better player than the people that are just like, oh, equip the meta gear and then you run around. So it's just, I don't know, because they don't think about it anymore. They just put the meta gear on and they're like, I'm good, and they run, but then they don't even use tactics anymore. They just try to like face check you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I was watching a video with two big orcs fighting the other day over the Hathor cave,
Mhm.
and they basically at the end they got overran when they tried to go in the cave. Like there's a bunch of people that were like rushing out of the cave and killed them all. And I already kind of thought this through a little bit because with respawning, like there's no way that you're going to be able to win like an FPS fight if someone puts an Ursa or something down there. But in game, like in this game, I've tested like grenades and stuff, and they suck. Like they don't do shit. So the only use of a grenade really is like crowd control, and I feel like that's what they should have been doing. That and also like in PvP right now, people don't take advantage of medics, so everyone's bringing their own med gun and stuff. But I really want to see a group go into FPS combat and have one dude that's like a designated medic and he's buffing, or like even rotate their med guns. So like right now, if you get shot and you're in a bad position and you have a med gun, you can just med gun yourself and soak a ton of damage and run off. Like they can't kill you if you're just sitting there med gunning yourself. And so if you have someone shooting a gun and they're trading with another person and the guy behind him is med gunning him, then he isn't going to die and he's going to win that fight every time, 100%. And then
Yeah.
basically like when the first guy he shoots his ammo, he needs to reload. Well, he drops off, he pushes the reload button. The second guy would walk forward, holster his med gun, pull his gun out, and then they swap and so they take turns healing each other, and they should just be able to run everybody over. And then with more people, you'd have grenades and stuff to crowd control to end up, picking more people off. Because
Yeah.
you can't shoot while they're getting knocked on their ass. But it's kind of like no one uses light armor in game right now because it's just too risky. Like close quarters light armor doesn't really do a whole lot for you, especially when people are like they're stat checking you. It's just a face-to-face fight constantly, so you just get ran over. Um, and then on the maps right now, there isn't enough cover to really make use of the speed of light armor because there's nowhere to hide, so you just get like picked off. But I was reading some of the stuff with some of the SMGs the other day, and because basically like the SMGs don't do a ton of damage, they shoot high like velocity and stuff, and I think in this game, uh, you don't want to ADS as much close quarters, so I think the SMG, like what you'd do is like you'd have like light armor with an SMG and you would sprint past like doorways and stuff and then hip fire the gun and hit people and then just wear them down like that. So like you'd go through hip fire, smack them, and then you would have a health advantage when you come back around the corner because either they heal or they don't.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like something like that.
Hmm.
Like I think because I haven't really paid much attention. I'm like 90% sure like if you ADS your character moves slower. So if you have faster move speed and you're not ADSing, you should be able to move really fucking quick and just kind of like even if you don't kill the first person, like the first guy running into a room is going to be drawing their attention. It's going to be like Call of Duty where like they slide cancel through a door, they draws their attention to them and then you have people come in behind. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe. I like the idea of light armor though, especially um if you have like a group of people that are moving on foot for a long distance because you travel so much faster in light armor. I would actually wear clothing more than just like I have an armor set or a clothing set that looks like armor that I would want to use because I don't know if clothing lets you run faster than light armor, but if it does, I like the idea of it, and also um, they have armors that are supposed to detect people in the future, and I don't know if it's going to be like based on emissions from the armor or if it's based on like biological signatures, but stealth armor might be hard to come across, but clothing, if it doesn't give off emissions and you could still hide, I would use that probably more than armor if people have like, because like the Banu, the Argentum armor is supposed to be like able to scan and find people. So it's like,
That
yeah,
new one that came out, you're saying?
yeah, it's the tracker armor from Star Citizen or from CitizenCon. So it's supposed to. I can't remember if it. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to find biological life forms. Like it's supposed to be for like scanning and seeing people, but the suit itself gives off a ton of emissions, so other people can scan and see it. Like it can't hide. Um, but
Okay.
if that suit only does find emissions, then clothing might become more viable because then you'd be off its radar and they wouldn't know you're there. But if it goes off biological signatures, then you have to have stealth armor against it, or just face check it. So I don't know, and we don't know how hard stealth armor is going to be, but stealth armor is going to be like a big deal if scanning becomes a thing. But I would like to
Yeah,
get
that makes
better
sense.
at clothing combat. Like if I can get good at fighting with clothing, then armor's just a bonus. So it's kind of
Yeah. I've wanted to go through the contested zones in just cloth.
oh yeah, I went through them a lot with just being naked in the past, but um the problem with contested zones and stuff, and the problem with ships and things on this game is that there's a lot of choke points, and there's nowhere to hide. And that's where you get a stat check because the way they balance the game and stuff too, like there isn't a way, and like if you're not in clothing, you can get insta one tapped, but if you're in armor and stuff, you become a bullet sponge. So even though you can kill someone really quick, like that last gunfight I did with that camper dude, he had like a P8 or something, and I had an SMG. And it took 60 rounds of my SMG point blank, and then he he shot 3 rounds, he missed one, and 2 of them hit me, and I almost died. And it's like any like a Tarkov shooter or something, he would have been long dead before he even got those shots off. Like I would have just fucking rocked him and he would have been done. But like this game, since you're kind of tanky, you're forced to trade shots with people and you can't insta kill them, which means that you're going to take damage, and then it just becomes a damage race between the two guns. And then at that point, like sniper rifles and stuff can like one tap you, so you're never gonna win. And
Yeah.
I don't know a huge way around it. I think grenades kind of could work. Like, I don't know. I don't. It, I have a hard time. I don't think the grenade, because they don't have flashbangs and stuff in this game, but I feel like that's basically what the grenade are. Like, the damage on the grenade is so small that unless you're, like, not wearing armor at all, it's not really that big of a threat. But if you're in armor, it's basically like a kind of like a flashbang or something, because it's like knocking you down, disorientating you, and it gives you like a window to rush in with guns. And then like the grenade launcher, when it blows up now, they changed it to where it puts off smoke, so it's both a crowd control device and it's like a concealment for like a breach. So like if you're gonna breach a room, you'd pop like 2 grenades, make a bunch of smoke, knock people on their ass, and then you'd run in. But
Oh, that makes sense.
what is going on here? Are there people camping New Babbage? There's a Mantis up here. And a Reclaimer and a Polaris.
Docking initiated. Docking denied.
Oh yeah, I had to go to Grimhacks.
Landing gear up.
My favorite.
But yeah, I think pretty much everything in this game, I think completely different than everyone else. Like, swarm tactics and stuff they're gonna exist, but like, I don't, unless you're like a mega org, I just don't see like fielding 500 fighter jets. Like,
Yeah.
if the distances like get really far, like I don't remember what the distance was, but someone was talking about Nyx. So basically, like Pyro is supposed to be like extremely long distance or something, and I guess they didn't make it as long distance as it was going to be. but then someone said that Nyx was supposed to be like really, really long distances. So, like, I don't remember exactly what they said, but like Stanton is like 1/8 scale or something, and then Nyx would be like 3 or 4 times that. So it's like when it gets to that stage, like right now, Pyro, if you're in a fighter, you can go from like a station to like one planet around like on the other side with like one, and then have to refill. But Nyx, it has like nebulas and stuff, so there's going to be a lot more stealth going on there. It's going to be hard to find people, and you're going to have really large distances to travel. So it's like, I don't know if fighters become that amazing there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Nyx.
Yeah. Nyx is who I'm going to align with. I still hope that Freedom Fighters are from Nyx, but everyone's hating on Freedom Fighters so much, and even like the YouTube guys, like,
Quantum travel engaged.
they're like, well, you should have picked right or whatever, you know, like it's like, I didn't know there's a wrong answer.
It's funny because everyone was like, "Oh, you want the headhunters because they just want to stay in Pyro." But then the news now is that the headhunters are trying to get into Stanton on their little news clippet things.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm super confused now because now it looks like the Freedom Fighters were actually keeping them all at bay, if anything.
Well, they sell their drugs in Stanton. That's always been like, the drugs have always been coming from Pyro, and Stanton is like a neutral, like, it's weird because like Stanton is, it's corporate, and people like, that's what bugged me the most, is that people were like, well, I'm a goody two shoes and I wanted to be a part of the good guys, so I'm going for the Citizens for Prosperity or Citizens for Pyro or whatever. And I was like, that makes no damn sense, because like the corporate, like, I get that it's the starting area that we've all been in and it seems like friendly, but it's not friendly. It's a fucking corporate slavery house of like people. That's all. It's like, that isn't making you the good guy, you know.
Yeah.
And
Quantum travel.
I don't know, man. Like, I think Freedom Fighters are the good guy. I hope that like if you back the Freedom Fighters and they add Nyx to the game, that you get recognized for it. Like
Yeah.
I don't care if I get kicked out of Stanton or Pyro, honestly. Like, if I get shipped off and I'm stuck in Nyx, I'm fine with it. And I will come
Yeah.
and raid Stanton and I'll raid Pyro for some shit. But that's what I was thinking that they were going to do, is like, when they talked about player content and stuff, if you have 3 systems and they're all aligned and fighting each other, you have player driven content. And Nyx, I think, is also supposed to be medium security, so it's like Stanton, but it's
Shields on.
I don't know how to explain it exactly. I mean, it's probably more unlawful sort of than Stanton. It's very strict on its rules, but it's open to pirates. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's always the Pirates Haven, or the safe haven. It's almost like like respectful.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, like
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Whatever it is.
Don't fuck us over, and you have the Shipwreck Cove.
Yeah, good back.
Shipwreck Cove in the town of Shipwreck. Ooh, 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 ooh. Doing my stuff. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, they're gonna get better. What's up, headhunter? You looking to give some head?
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Not too much, you know. Doing
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Among Us things, you know.
Oh, sorry. I had stepped
Among
away.
Us
I
thing?
don't know if you heard me or not. I just got back.
Yeah, I'm just talking to this dude in the Grim Hex. Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
okay,
you know
cool.
what it is, you know.
No, dude, I don't know what that is, dude.
Yeah, we got the Zeus gang going on, you know. We're the big boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah.
Hey, you know why I can't dupe my ship's weapons? I keep trying to dupe them and they just aren't happening, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't really do any of that stuff.
Listen, alright, I don't do that stuff either, but you can't buy these weapons in game and I'm trying to test them, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you have the salvaged fucking arders or whatever.
I'm getting the Banu Singe cannons, but I thought about getting some of those
Oh.
Suntaki Eye repeaters as well, but
Yeah, actually, in that case, I wish I knew, because I would take some from you.
yeah, I was thinking about opening a store after I test them, to be honest, but
I never want to risk exploiting though, because getting banned from this game is like getting fucking locked out of a NFT account or something.
oh yeah, I totally understand, man. I got more money than you could probably think in this game, but
Yeah, more than we both like to admit. I don't doubt it.
oh yeah, you got a small house loan on yours.
You said what?
You got like a small house loan on yours.
Um, I wouldn't say a small house. I'd say like a really shitty car though, for sure. Not like really shitty, probably just like a yeah, like pretty shitty though. Pretty shitty car. Definitely not like a car you'd want.
That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like some of their ships sell for like the price of a car.
Yeah, some of their ships are literally a mortgage.
Yeah, that's true. I had a friend I tried to get in this game, and he was like, "I can't play it because I have to buy the best ship." And I was like, I don't think you understand." Like, and then because he's talking about the Javelin, and I'm just like, "Uh, it's not even. I don't even
That's how
think it's
my
like the
friend is, dude. He always wants the biggest and best ship, but he's like one dude. Like he
yeah,
bought the Polaris and just melted it down because he couldn't fucking crew it.
yeah. I was on the fence with the Polaris because I thought maybe you would need it to defend yourself, and I'm just not a big fan of it. And I'll earn it in game or whatever, but
It's too big, dude.
I don't
Even if you
even.
had the crew for it, it's just too big.
Well, it's like the Javelin because I got into an argument with somebody on Reddit the other day. I don't think it's as good as people think it is now too because I was looking at it because he was comparing it to like the Perseus for some reason, and I was just like the angles on the size 7 turrets if you look at videos suck, and then the size 9s and stuff aren't going to be good for shooting smaller ships. There's blind spots all over it. The
Oh fuck
engines
no,
are
they're gonna
big
be
as
terrible
fuck.
for shooting smaller ships.
Yeah, it's just I don't. It's basically it's an org like an org ship, but like
Yeah, you're gonna need like support ships with that. It's not just like but that's the problem, right? Is getting the support ships too, as well as the crew for the main ship.
yeah. I think what they're doing is like those ships are like big event raid type ships, or like all your smaller ships got fucked up and you want to do like one last hurrah, so you go and get in the big ship.
Yeah, that's probably that. I mean, that's how it'll. Oh, here's. Oh, never mind. That's probably how it'll end up. Bro, I want this fucking armor, dude.
Your insurance
Oh, the
claim
arms and
has
shit.
been sent.
Yeah, I want the cool cape. How do I get this armor?
Picker's Field is the easiest on Daymar.
Oh, really? And they just have them just sitting out there?
It's a legendary boss. He spawns every
Your
now and then.
insurance claim has been sent. Thank you.
And you said it's Picker's Field on Daymar?
Yeah, the Dusters. There's probably other places, but it's the Dusters stuff. If you get this armor though,
Okay.
and you go, I don't remember what station it is, but the armor that they sell here,
Please
that's like
visit us
that heavy
again.
set from Grimhex,
Goodbye.
they have a tan version that you can buy from a station. You get the arms for that and the legs, and you keep the cape. Oh yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, that would be fire. The cape is like the best part, obviously.
Yeah. I think I have one set of this left somewhere. I lost my first set though.
Oh, you should donate it to me, dude.
Yeah, my base is at Loreville, so I don't know if it's still there. I'd have to go all the way back.
Oh, I'm an Orson rat, dude.
I've been at Orson for like fucking 10 years, and I started changing it up. I was gonna go to Area 18 or something this time, but Loreville's
That's where I used to do is Area 8.
yeah. I started going Loreville because I want to back them when the game comes out, probably because they're like.
Oh yeah,
Also,
Loreville's nice too, but it's just dirty.
yeah. Also, I farm the Artemex a bit. I have like a armor set that I build that looks like if a Space Marine was ever like not like Space Marine like Warhammer, but like if a Marine in space was like a thing, it's what I think it would look like, and it looks pretty damn slick.
Do you think my armor looks cool right now?
Um. Actually, it's not too shabby. I like it. I thought the light on the chest was different for a minute. I wish there was a little bit more red, like. Maybe there's more red than I think that's there. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's like hidden beneath the helmet. Do you like that helmet, dude? This helmet's fucking crazy.
Yeah, is this This isn't.
It's just some shit from the pledge store, dude. I don't know. I just saw it pop on there, and I was like, that looks insane.
Well, I didn't think the pledge store had a red one. It was like green or some shit.
Oh, it's from the subscriber store. This one.
Yeah, but wasn't it green? I thought it was green like the whole
No,
thing.
on the subscriber one, it's red.
Oh.
They have
Yeah.
a green one on the regular pledge store.
I like this one probably better than the in-game one and better than that green one that I saw. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, this one's scary, dude.
Well, it's like you ever wore the Parasite helmet?
Oh yeah, that one's gross.
I used to want to wear that all the time because it had the skull in it, but yeah.
It's really nasty. Oh wait, my homie's flying out here.
Are we already friends? Did you see that? Probably about to stop talking to this guy here in a second. Because I just saw like.
No worries.
On, I'm checking some. I think we might already be friends or something.
Hey, look at him. Oh shit, he's shooting at us.
Because doesn't it usually say like make a friend and then make a party? Hey dude, what's your name?
Here, I'll add you.
I feel like we're already friends because I thought it used to be like add friend and then add party. Oh, cool.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I was chilling. I'm trying to. Do you pirate or what do you do?
Yeah, I'm about to bust this guy out of prison real quick. I'm about to pick him up.
Oh, right on. I would do that too, but like I gotta try and dupe these cannons and then try to do some
No,
pirates.
you're good, man. You're good.
Alright. Just yeah, I'll try to remember to hit you up or whatever. I got a group of guys I chill with in Discord and stuff too, but yeah.
Absolutely, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you have a good man. That's a cool guy. He has
Seems like it.
I didn't think there was a. He said that he got a headhunter thing off of the subscriber store, and it's a white skulled headhunter helmet with a red and white afro and like red and black armor, but the skull's white. And the only one I saw in the pledge store was green, I thought.
Yeah, there's a Lucky and Windfall.
Huh.
Yeah, Windfall I just had on, and it was like still a green face. It looked very much like the Lucky one.
Okay. I like that helmet though. It looked good.
I have some with a red mohawk, the Deadhead ones.
Yeah, aren't those gold or something?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. The face
Yeah.
is gold.
I mean, the gold would fit better with like my armor stuff that I do all the time, because like all my armor sets that I'm having, basically the whole fucking fleet I'm building, besides like the transport helicopters and shit, are like gold. Like they have gold on it. Banu Merchantman has gold. Banu Defenders have gold. The Sulian Executive Skin is gold. The Lightnings have gold. The Saber skins have gold on them. Like the arrows are like the only thing that I don't have like in gold. And then like all the Lorville security arms that I farm have gold bands on them. The Sangwar helmets that I'm wearing with the sets have gold on it. Like, I'm not even that big a fan of gold, but like it's adding up and it looks alright.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you have the F8. What's the level? Freelancer, or isn't that what it is?
I think I'm Wing
You're not
Commander right now.
Freelancer.
I wasn't.
Wing Commander.
I was not fully planning on getting it right now, but then I bought armors and dice and shit, and then it ended up going that. So like I'm not planning on going past the 15K, but I know that I'm already to finish up my ships that I want is already going to be a little bit, and I'll do that this year, and then I'll be like a couple of K away from it, and I still got to buy armor. If I decide to buy armors, that'll be like another K or something, so I might end up getting both of them, but it probably will be a few years.
Yeah.
So
I'm at the Wing Commander. I think it's less than a year ago. So it was when I heard you just hit that as well. I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not I'm not the only one that's gotten in over my head and don't even know how I did it.
What did you buy though? Well, I know how I did it, but like every time I've put a break on myself, I've ended up passing it, and my deal's just like a lot of the big like if I was playing this game. If I was just playing this game, like usually, I wouldn't care about ships at all. I still don't really care about the ships at all. But every big org that I've played with, it's been the same. It's always been like, oh, we got like 20 javelins and we have 80,000 and we had all these ships or whatever. And I'm just like looking at like what they're doing and all that, and it's all space combat. And I'm like, I want to do FPS. I want to do ground shit. And I want to have something to work towards and earn in the game. And like nobody's doing ground shit. No one's doing ground combat, ground vehicles. You know, ground mining wasn't even like popular until now. So it's like
mine was all industrious. Like I wanted to have a race parts shop and salvage and still be able to do like drug running and stuff. But like my main focus was like that's why I wanted the Super Collider for the Endeavor to do custom parts, and then the Carrack was because it has its own tweaking shop. You know, the Reclaimer was to get supplies.
Yeah, I like the reclaimer and stuff too, like money wise, but then I could never really get it running because I had 3 for a while, and it's like we could do an order, but like I would prefer just to have people be able to earn that ship and do that if they want to do salvage, because I know I don't want to do it every day, but I wanted to build something where like anybody, like if someone wanted to build an org, what would you need to do to like grow and build an org and be able to get supplies and stuff and then earn those bigger ships? So like I'm focused on the mid game and stuff a lot, and
Hmm.
salvage and all that, you could do that, and we're gonna need people to do that, but I want to be able to like go and fight all the aliens and explore all the planets and farm the items and the gear and resources. And I knew like everyone was going towards space, and like the problem is that big orgs in space have a massive advantage. Like they're always going to have an advantage with numbers, but in space they have an advantage with big ass ships too. So it's like no one was doing ground stuff, so why wouldn't I focus on the ground shit? If like I know that there's going to be valuable hand minables and stuff that
Hmm.
because they've already said like it isn't going to be like cut and dry, like oh you go from hand mining to ship mining. It's going to be no, there's fucking gems and diamonds that are rare that are in the fucking caves, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm going for, but and like repair stuff, like my stuff is all support and all
Hmm.
that. Although everyone gives me shit because they're like, why do you buy 2 ships? Like I have copies of the same ship. And like, why do you buy 2? And I see so many complaints online about like wait times and stuff. And I'm just like, if you just bought a ship, like if you buy 2 of the same ship in game, you don't have to wait for wait times. You just like even the Carrack was it like 45 minutes or something. You have 2 Carracks, one of them gets destroyed. You go and you claim it, and you get in the other one, and you fly it around
Yeah.
for an hour, and it gets destroyed, and then you just get in the other one again. It's not, it makes sense to me. But everything I buy works in a unit. So like if you have like 2 people or whatever, or like a small group, like even 16, you have a Liberator. But you take a Liberator and a Carrack and you put them together, and you could have 16 people on a Liberator, and also use the Carrack as like a base. So you'd have gun defense, you'd have like 1,000 SU cargo space, you'd have a medical bed, you have transport vehicles and stuff that you can use to fly around on a planet and do FPS combat and stuff with. You have ground stuff that you could use, and then like you set a crucible or something with that, and then you have, well, now we can repair all our ground vehicles, we can have all of our spaceships flying around and everything else. So that's just one whole base. So you land that together on a planet, you unload a ground base building vehicle, and then you build like your extractors and stuff, and that's all you need, which saves you from having to build like your base part and your medical center and your cargo storage. You just build the extractor and start pulling shit out and loading it.
Yeah.
And it's I think that should be good. Like I think as much as people focus on the biggest ships, I'm focused on compacting the most flexibility in the smallest package. Like
Hmm.
I don't want a Star Lancer build or anything like that. I want a ground base building vehicle that can at least make like large buildings, and then I can stick that on a Liberator or a Carrack or a Kraken.
Do you have a Pioneer?
No, I debated it a
I need to
lot
get
and
a.
I cut it off. It's the same. I debated the Endeavor as well,
Hmm.
like, and I I've logically, I think I thought this through enough to like the Endeavor and a lot of the Mist ships. I feel they're going to be pretty decent for like PvE content. They have like really powerful shields, and aliens use a lot of laser weapons. But the Endeavor is stuck in space, and I can't defend anything in space versus a big org. Realistically, like you have the Endeavor and you have your org there, and then a Javelin shows up. I have to be able to defend against the javelin or 2 javelins or 3 javelins. But if I can land on a planet with atmosphere, the javelins can't stay in atmosphere. So
Right.
that's my main debate on it. And the Pioneer is the same thing as like, because there's people that were in my group that wanted a Pioneer, and I'm fine with them getting it if they want it. And then they ended up getting an Idris instead for some reason. But my whole thing was that I like a Pioneer, you're gonna have to have the blueprints and stuff to craft anyway. You're gonna have to research all the tiers and upgrade all your blueprints to make better items. You have to crew it, you have to protect it because it doesn't have very many guns or anything. When it's on the ground, it's probably going to give off a huge signature because you're running a bunch of power and mining shit. And then you got to build everything, which is going to take a ton of time. And, and then after you build stuff, like, why do you have the ship there still besides manufacturing? I like the idea of it being like a mobile manufacturing center and being able to replace what you have. That was the number one reason I wanted it, because it's like if you're going for a long space exploration and you start losing fighters and transport helicopters and stuff, how do you replace it? And you either have to build a base or you have to have something like that that can reproduce. But then I started leaning more into the crucibles because I was like, well, if you have to protect those big ships, you're going to have to keep them repaired and stuff. Your Perseus and all that has to be repaired, so you need repair anyway. And then the Crucible's supposed to be able to repair anything. So if you were, basically what it came down to was like, if you were going to land on a planet and start harvesting materials, and someone else has already built a base there, you don't have time to build a base. They'll attack you, and and your stuff gets destroyed. And they could store 1,000 ships in their base if they've been there long enough, And then so it's like, how do you don't have time to manufacture things, but with repair, if you down some of their equipment or you find some of their equipment, you could take it and repair it and use it. And so,
Right.
and then also keep your own stuff running on top of that. But the only thing I don't really have planned out right now is refinery. And because I'm not sure if you have to refine materials before you can use them for like repair and stuff. And I want like some Vulcans and stuff too, but I don't know exactly what I can fit on all my decks and stuff yet. But all of my ships, like, you can separate them and use them for their own game loops, or you can put them together as one big ground force. And it's only going to need like, the minimum's going to be like 100 people. It's probably less than 100 if you really wanted to, but 200 people or whatever could use it if they needed to. Like, basically, like the Carrack and the Liberators together, if you have 16 people on a Carrack, and then it would be 18 if you have a separate crew for the Liberator, they can share that and have like 32 lockers or whatever, like armor lockers and stuff. And then if you doubled that, you'd have 64 or you'd have up to 32 people in those two ships if you needed it, but the minimum would be like 16. And then between two sets of that, you'd have 32 or 64 people. And that's ground troops, vehicles, mechs, everything else. And then the rest of the ships are going to be like the other 40 people or whatever. And then you have all of the transport helicopters and stuff on top of decks that you can use to move around.
I like that.
Yeah. But then, like, even if you don't have 60 people, those, like, 2 people, I can run a Liberator. I'm good. 6 people or whatever, I can run on, like, a Carrack. I'm good. So it scales up. But I'll probably try and use the Crucible more when the game comes out. I like the idea of, like, finding a ship and repairing it. That's the other thing is, like, it sucks that they have this claim thing, this brick thing now. because I really
What
liked
do you?
the idea of like because they're doing the insurance thing. If someone like claims something with insurance, it bricks, and so you're gonna have to like
Oh,
haul it somewhere and then unbrick it before you can use it. And like I really liked the idea in the past of like having the repair ship and you go like you and your org mates team up and you go and explore and you find like a starfare or something that's destroyed and then you go and you put time in and you fix it and then it's yours, you know.
hmm
But if it's bricked
yeah.
and you can't fly it, it's a problem. But I think they're gonna do like the Expanse did, where like you find the Rosalante and you go and you claim it, which is the unbricking thing, and then you get it.
That makes sense.
So I mean, I like the idea though. You know, it's just that's what I wanted salvage to be. It's part of the reason I'm leaning away from the reclaimers now is because like I like boarding ships. Like the SRV was like my favorite ship. I like towing and boarding and like checking out the ship and seeing if I could get it to run.
Yeah.
And I don't think salvage is that anymore. It's just
Because I hope with the drones on the reclaimer, because they're supposed to be able to repair. You're supposed to be able to farm, store, refine, create that material,
mm,
and so it's like, well, will I be able to pull out a bunch of components and send out the drones and they'll fix all the components? I can keep them in processing.
well they don't
I have these
really
printers. Can I manufacture other stuff as well? What's the end game loop looking like?
yeah, they don't really clarify all that stuff too. Like they say like drones can do like different things, but if the ship isn't built for it, then it's just not as good at doing it. But I don't know
Mhm.
what the difference between salvage and repair is necessarily. And so like it might be able to repair some, but it might not be as good as like a repair ship with repair drones.
Yeah,
I
to
don't
me it'd
really
be
know.
wild if it would seem odd if it couldn't do what a Vulcan could do.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that I don't understand. I I wanted to have like one or two Vulcans in the fleet just for like not even repair, but for moving fuel. Because ground vehicles are going to need fuel or whatever in the future, and then if your ground vehicle gets damaged, are you going to fly a crucible over to fix them? You know, when you could send a Vulcan, but
I blew up.
ah shit, that sucks, man.
Yeah. It's okay though.
Wow.
I'm waiting
Oh,
on
the
my
guy's
ship.
telling me that it blew up. Yeah, I'm just talking to a guy in Discord, so I'm just um uh oh okay. So during the base building presentations in CitizenCon, they showed basically what they said was that there's different sources of power that you can use for your base, but the fuel, the ability to like just use like hydrogen fuel or whatever to power a base was faster and cheaper. And so you need transports that can bring fuel to those bases to power them. And you need to be able to fuel your ships and repair them and all that. But I don't know if I don't know if I trust the idea of sending a Vulcan to the front lines to fix and rearm fighters on the front line or not.
Yeah, yeah. Even though it's in their description, it doesn't.
Yeah. It
It
seems
feels like
like a
sending a terrapin up there.
yeah, it's a big target and also from what I've seen of it, it has 12 SU of cargo space. But that doesn't tell me a whole lot. Like how is it like maybe it's refilling ballistics, but is it refilling missiles? Is it refilling torpedoes? Because I don't think it can hold size 9 or size 7 torps. And
Right, right.
that's where I'm getting because like I want to use ground vehicles like the ballista and stuff, but I need to be able to get torps and things to the ballista and load it. But it sounds like for things like that, I'm gonna need like a Valkyrie or something to like move the size 7s and then manually load it in the ballista. But the missiles might be big enough to fit in the back of a ship and go on a fighter. But like I'm not gonna be able to like have an Eclipse and then send a Vulcan out there and refill its size 9s mid-fight.
Right.
And at that point, I'm like, well, as long as they could fly, you could just fly them back. Like it would suck to waste gas to fly them back, but like that's what aircraft carriers do now anyway. Like
Right.
we don't have like a like we have aerial refuel, but you can do that with a Starfare. And I mean, you know, like I don't know
Welcome
if
to
we
the
had
ASOP
like we
vehicle
don't even
retrieval
have that many
system.
guns on our fighters these days. So I mean, it's like if we had the ability to like rearm a ship mid-flight above an area, I could see like it would be useful, but I just don't see how practical it is. It's but I like it also potentially for like a transport or something. But the main thing was just fuel because you could the Starfare is too big to land on a Kraken to like refuel it, and the Kraken
Yeah.
has enough. I don't know. That's the other thing is I don't know how much fuel the Kraken can hold and how long it's gonna last. But at least one Starfarer, or at least have friends that want to do gas gameplay that will come and deliver gas to your Kraken. And then you need the Vulcans to take the fuel from the Kraken and deliver it to the bases to power the power plants. Um, and that's the main reason because like there's you either have a Starfarer deliver gas to the power plants or you have a Vulcan do it.
Do you have a Kraken?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I haven't ever been able to snag one of those. Well, that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. I mean everything I have is based on amphibious assault fleet. But I'm not getting a Polaris anymore and I'm trying to figure everything. Basically right now I'm having top deck management issues because I don't know how they're gonna let us like the Kraken's top deck. Are they only gonna let us have 2 medium ships on the 2 medium pads, or can we put things in the middle? There's a lot of stuff that's in the middle, but basically right
Please
now
visit us again.
I
Goodbye.
have because I didn't do the CCU game either, so I spent more money than I had to by a lot. But besides personal ships, I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna have Starfare Gemini is the end game. Then we'll have 2 Liberators, 2 Carracks, 2 Crucibles, 2 Perseus, a Kraken, um, 2 Eclipses, 2 Gladiators, 2 Sabers, potentially 2 Lightnings, and then I want 6 Arrows that I'll earn in game. Maybe, depending on how the top decks on the Kraken work, 1 or 2 Valkyries, 4 Redeemers, and then 4 Legionnaires. And if there's room, I would try to get 2 Vulcans or 2 SRVs. And then ground base building vehicle, if it ever comes out. And then I'll earn like all the ballistas and stuff I'll earn in game. But basically, it makes the fleet. You'd have med beds for medical gameplay. You'll have repair for repair gameplay. You'll have fuel for fuel gameplay. You'll have, and also the Banu Merchantman as well. So you'd have basically 10,000 SU of storage space over the ships. You have segments of ships that can basically make gameplay for 2 to 32 people. If you put the Kraken or the Carrack and the Liberator and the Crucibles and stuff together, like that would probably be like 40, 50 people for those 3 ships that could make a ground base. So it separates pretty easily, and the Kraken even could be modified because you don't have to use it. I also think the Kraken's going to be cheaper to run than a lot of other capital ships, but not as effective in combat. But even if you like your org wanted to go out and mine or salvage or whatever for the day, you have people take their vultures and stuff, you stick it on the Kraken, you go out there and you start salvaging, they dump the stuff on the Kraken, and you're good. You have like reclaimers go out, they come back to the Kraken, they dump their stuff off, and then you'd have 3,700 or whatever SCU that the Kraken can hold, and then you use that ship to bring back to the station to sell, because it's
Yeah.
a lot harder to take down than an Eclipse, like one-shotting a reclaimer and losing
Yeah.
everything.
Well, that's kind of cool if we
Welcome
end up
to
continuing
the
to
ASOP Vehicle Retrieval
play together
System.
throughout that end game. I have a lot of stuff for, like, I have a Starfarer Gemini. It's like
Okay.
the gas generation, the reclaimer,
Yeah.
but I don't have, like you were saying, the end, both the endpoints, the top tier and bottom tier. So, which you have like everything filled. So, it seems like it'd be good set of ships between the two.
Yeah.
Not a lot of overlap, which is wild.
I would really like. I mean, not having to buy a Starfarer would be really nice, but I do worry about not having access to one. Like, quite a lot, because you have to have a supply at some point. But I already have the ship that's going to upgrade into it, so I'm probably going to end up getting it anyway. But I would like to save some money because I want to buy some armors, and that's the thing that's like, because they say you're going to get a blueprint for the armor and that you could craft it or whatever, but I don't know if they mean like, if I just buy one set, can I craft 50 sets, or is it like a one-time use blueprint or something? Because because I want to be able to outfit everybody in the org to at least have like one set of armor or whatever to like do shit. So like you don't have to, a new guy comes, they get their armor, they can play with us, and I don't have to worry about it. And the Zeus suits are multi-purpose for hot and cold, but you're looking at 32 to 64 armor sets, which is like 400 to 800
Please
bucks.
visit us again.
And then if I wanted to
Goodbye.
do the Singar armors and stuff on top of that, would be another 400 or 800 bucks, which is a shit ton of money just for armor. And
Yeah.
I don't know on that, but like if we did end up getting bigger, I mean I'd be fine doing that. But my fleet, like I'm just gonna let pretty much anyone run it and use it if they need it. If like I don't mind being a collection of orgs. Like if we
Yeah.
have 40 small orgs that want to like come in and they need to like go farm some materials or something, then we can use that fleet as a collective. I don't care about running it. I had the idea, I had the concept, I built it out the best I thought I could, and I think it'll be good for farming items and stuff. I think it's probably, from all the fleets that I've seen online, it's probably the best I could possibly think of for like FPS like just landing and farming on a planet, doing FPS missions, collecting resources, because it's all about
Yeah.
moving troops around. And I don't see anyone else like moving troops like that. Like I don't see anyone having like legionnaires and people. It's like the Redeemer got nerfed and everyone sold it, and I'm just like, well, it's still a fucking gunship transport. It's just. But I already have deck issues with some of that. Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
having some people that would be like, they want to like have a reclaimer or an Orion or something would be really nice. Because
Mm-hmm.
gives some sort of resources to come in. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's also the other big thing is like if you have an Orion or something, we're kind of forced to defend it, and it's stuck in space, which means you have to deal with Idrises and javelins and things, and that's what worries me the most when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I don't like. I'm gonna earn a Polaris in game, and I feel like with a Polaris and two Perseus and like a capital ship, you should be able to hold off a good bit of stuff that would come at you. But mega orgs, I just don't think we have a chance no matter what we bring.
Yeah, and hopefully they're gonna want to fight with other mega orgs.
Yeah.
They'd have to, like you were saying, we would last really well, and then they'd have to have a pretty tough or orchestrated attack to take out that type of setup.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm hoping, like, ends up happening. Because, like, people also, like, basically every ship that everyone's ever told me is a waste of money and stuff is what I've bought. Like, that's basically, they said the Redeemer sucks, and I got Redeemers. They said the Valkyrie and Dropship sucks, but I got the Valkyrie. And then, like, they even said the Cutlass Steel, and I was like, I actually don't have a problem with the Cutlass Steel, because you can fit, like, 2 of those in the same space as one Valkyrie, so you can move, like, 50 troops, but you can't move, vehicles and cargo. And then like the Eclipse they said is like super expensive and sucks. And I'm just thinking in my head it's like you're not paying for bigger, you're paying for compact. So like
Mhm.
it's not that like you can have a Retaliator, that's fine, but a Retaliator is a separate ship that needs a separate crew and it's only doing Retaliator stuff. Whereas you have Eclipses, you stick them inside the Kraken, you don't need anyone to pilot them. They're just there in case you need them.
Mhm.
Which is like that's how I'm doing everything. Like you have a Star Lancer build, well it can build a base, but it's a whole ship that needs a whole crew. You can't put it on a carrier. You have a ground-based building vehicle. You just carry it and you use it when you need it. And that's basically how everything is worked out in my head.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just not. I'm a crazy idea guy. I'm not really a organizational leader. Like I have ideas and I have plans, but I really don't care to deal with the monotony of like dealing with 500 different people. Like 100 people is probably like my max. I just can't. Um,
Mhm.
you that's I don't know. So hopefully we find like an org leader, and I can just be like a dude that helps out. That's kind of the game plan, I guess.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
ASOP Vehicle Retrieval
Kind
System.
of like that with First Squadron guys. It's like there's Mesa, who I think I
Your
saw he
vehicle has
rocks
been
the
declared as a
Legatus or
game.
whatever tag,
Bye.
so he's
Oh,
got some money in the game.
there's a
But
tag in game.
yeah, and Spectrum, when you look it up, you can like get different like tags next to your dossier or whatever.
Oh,
Um, but Spec Sniper's the guy that kind of runs and is always inviting people and stuff.
okay.
So I kind of like, I like that they have that kind of same mix like you're describing.
Well, it's like I have basically when I played Guild Wars. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's like an MMO.
Mhm.
My old guild leader from that game has Star Citizen, but he never played it. He never jumps in because it's just not a game really. And he's actually successful. Like I don't remember what he does. It's either like real estate or accounting or some shit. But we used to like have a big group that we played that game, and he had like websites and all kinds of shit. So like if he came, I wouldn't mind him like running things, but he's a very big Toad fan, and so like
Toad fan.
frogs. Yeah, like he
Oh, okay.
likes frogs. Our guild was called Toad in Guild Wars. I'm very I was fine with Toad and being a part of it, and it was fun, but like like weird names kind of annoy me a little bit. Um, but yeah, he's very Toad focused. And then there's like a group of people I played Escape from Tarkov with, which is like I don't know how many of them are still FPS guys, but there's 20, 30 people that are in there usually, and they got like people that play like Strategio and that factory production game, and a lot of them play like random MMOs and shooters and stuff, and like if all those people joined when the game is good, then we would have like a pretty decent group. But it's just a lot. Like just convincing him to like join. It's kind of crazy because like there's like 6 people in his Discord that have been trying to convince him to play, and they're all refusing because he's gonna end up trying to buy the biggest, baddest ship, and they don't want to. And like I can't get them into a room and talk to them for a minute. Just like even if you wanted the biggest baddest ship, if you had like 50 or 100 people and you wanted a Javelin, that's like 30 to $60 a person, which honestly I'd be fine paying at this point. Just fuck it, $30, got it. You know, like if they all played and they got a game package, which I think is like $40 or whatever now, and then $30 to the org for Javelin, it's like a $70 game, and you got the biggest ship and everyone's happy. But it's I don't know. But then also the thing is like he would have to get concierge before he could even buy a Javelin in the first place, which he doesn't understand. I don't think he understands that you have to get concierge, then you have to like figure out the date that the Javelin's being sold and like race everybody to try and buy it. And then even if you do buy it, it's still going to be a tier 1 ship, so you got to upgrade it and stuff in game. And also, I don't know if I would like being on a Javelin, to be honest. I haven't took the tour or anything, but I'm very much in the belief that players like being able to do their own shit when they're in a game, and I don't want to be stuck on a Javelin all day. You know, that's why I think having a fleet with a bunch of transports that can FPS all over a planet would be a lot better. 'Cause it's just like even fighters like the Banu Defender, just being able to be like, hey, we got 4 guys, we're gonna jump in the Banu Defender, go do some fucking bunker missions and stuff. All right, cool.
Welcome.
Yeah, your idea with the Kraken on down is wonderful. I think that's great to get people like engaged. You come in and you put on your work uniform, take your work ship out, you know, get paid your work wage. It'd be cool. It'd be easy. You'll do some cool fun stuff.
Well, let's say like if every ship, like first off, that's like 10 ships or whatever in that fleet right there. And also you have like merchant gameplay because the Banu merchantmen and stuff is in there. But let's say like every single one of those ships got destroyed and you had 100 people. That's where you pull out the Javelin, you know? That's where it's like, okay, all of our shit got fucked up and we don't want to lose it, so go get the biggest ship that we can crew and all of us are going back. I think that's where those ships come in, you know?
Yeah.
And like even the Idris, I don't know what the crew count is on that. It's like 12 to crew, but I think it holds like 60 or 70. Like that would be a fine ship to like bring back to a fight, I guess. I don't even know about the fucking like the Bengal carrier isn't even in the game yet, and like I don't even know what the crew count on the Bengal is, but like that is like I don't even know how to describe it. Like that ship is massive. That is a mega orc ship. Like people are worried about javelins in space. The Bengal is going to be a whole different beast.
Yeah, I'm curious.
That's the big carrier from Squadron 42. The main ship. Yeah. Massive shields, massive big ass guns. I don't remember if it shot torpedoes or not. It's a carrier. It has like it can hold fleet ships and stuff. The only thing that would change a lot of this is depending on how gamey they make the game. Because if they make it to where landing pads can spawn ships on them with claim timers instead of just being a place that you can carry them, because they've talked about it a little bit with the Endeavor. If they do that, it changes everything, because then people in your org can just spawn ships off of a pad.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah. But they'd have to probably have like a timer or something on. I don't know how they would manage that, but
you're almost like you're allowed to have 10 players linked to your respawn beds. You're allowed to have 10 ships as your instant claims or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
and you know, it just enough to match the pads type of thing. Something tied to a limit or a balance or whatever.
I think it would run into the like. I feel like it would the bed thing would. Well, depending on how they do it, because they've talked about beds not like having to be a thing in the future too, but um, in that sense, you'd have like your single seat fighters or whatever on the carrier, and then
How are you find specimens in here? Holy shit.
Hey, what's up, Sylvan?
What's up? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt any conversations.
Oh no, you could.
I
No,
don't
actually
have-
just explain something to me. What were you saying?
I don't remember. Oh, the landing pads. The if the bed thing still is like important in the future and you have to log off in a bed, which it doesn't really sound like they're going to keep that, then I think your single seat fighters would be what you keep on the ship, and then your fighters and stuff that have beds are like what you would have like workmates flying around in, so they could log off and then come back. But
That makes sense. What you been up to, Silver?
Just playing a bunch of different games all day and watching Netflix and TikTok and eating foods and playing with the dog,
Systems activated.
cleaning up
Nice.
after the dog, and
Systems
yeah.
on.
dogs are
Very
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
I gotta go get my dog eventually.
And he started getting a little too hyper, and I was like, "All right, sit. It's time to end the game." You're getting a little too rowdy for me, bro. And you're just trying to like nibble at me, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, even though he doesn't hurt me, but like he puts his teeth on me, I'm like, nah, bro, you're crossing the line there.
Bring it back.
Just fucking bite him back. I don't want to do that because I'm low-key kind of scared. Like, he'll try to bite my neck or some shit. And I'm like, because I feel like, because he's kind of like dumb, he would do it. I would make a noise and he'd be like, what the fuck just happened?
What kind of dog is it?
It's a husky.
Oh, okay. Big dog.
I think he's 5 years old. My dad hates the dog. It's not mine, and it's not his. It's his girlfriend's. I love the dog, though.
Yeah, they grow on you.
Quantum travel.
I'm a huge animal person, so I get along really well with animals. I wanted to be a vet once upon a time until like I learned they have to put down animals all the time. I was like, I couldn't handle that. I'd be too sad.
Yeah. I think a lot of dads don't like animals until they have the animal. That's just how it is.
He
kinda like-
loves dogs. He just doesn't like this dog because it's basically it's an undisciplined dog.
Oh yeah. I bought those sucker punches and I put them on the ship, and then one of them I guess glitched out while I was quantuming. So
Fell off.
no, like I had it inside, just laying on the floor. So I have to go get another one eventually, but
I got online on Star Citizen around the same time you and Cervantes did Dom.
Oh, yesterday? Was it? Yeah, yesterday.
Today, this morning.
Oh, holy shit! That was this morning.
Yeah, and I knew you were in my server, and that server was having fucking issues for me specifically, and I was like, man, fuck this game, okay? So I like went to the main menu and joined off of you. I was like, oh god damn it, he was in my server. Oh well.
Systems
And
activating. Systems
it wouldn't let me store my ship, call another ship, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm done with Star Citizen for the next couple hours.
yeah.
Decided to play Kingdom Come Deliverance for the first time. Had it for months. I think I've had it for like a year now and I haven't touched it until today.
Heard good things.
So far, I'm very interested. It's they formulated like those TV series.
Okay.
You're playing a medieval TV series essentially. Like the way the cinematics kind of work, it kind of like gives that vibe.
Really?
hmm It's like basically the very first part of the game is the tutorial, and then you get knocked the fuck out, and you're on the back of a carriage, and it plays it like a TV show intro or a movie or some shit of you just like slowly slipping in and out of consciousness, and you on the back of the carriage.
It's a little weird.
It almost sounds like the beginning of what was that, Skyrim?
Yeah, that. I was also thinking of Westworld though too, where like people go in there for fun killing robots and shit. But
I think I have to check that
Hold on.
Westworld out.
you know, a dumb game that's kind of fun that I messed with for a couple days, but I, you watch like the people that are really good at this game, and you're like, how the fuck did they do it? Because I couldn't figure out how to like jab. Like I could get my sword in places, but I couldn't like skewer people. And half sword. It's like it's really dumb, but it is kind of fun.
Half sword.
Yeah, it's like a demo. It's not even a full game, but like it's kind of like what the fuck is that game called? Um, there's a game called like Totally Serious or something, or where it's like it has like these stick guys that are like dressed up and like as cavemen and shit. And they just go and they randomly beat the shit out of each other, and it has like puzzles. But Half Sword is like that, but it's like you're controlling your character and you're like walking him and stuff. And when you move your mouse, it's changing the direction of his like weapon, and then you're fighting. But it's like you have like night suits and stuff with armor, so you can't like stab through the armor. So you gotta like get your sword into like little grooves and stab people. But like I can swing my
Okay.
sword around and I can get my sword on people's armpits and shit. But you like I can't figure out how to control it like they can. You watch the videos of people good and they're like using real sword techniques in half sword, and they're like flawlessly like parrying blades and like slinging up and like nicking people's necks and shit, and you're like, holy fuck.
That's pretty sweet.
Heading back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We can.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I want to make a lasagna here in a minute.
I just had enchiladas, which was fucking banging.
I wish I knew how to
Not
make
the
all
same
that.
My dad's girlfriend makes it like really fucking easy. She cooks the meat first, and then she puts it into like a certain type of tortilla, wraps it up, kind of like a burrito, and then puts it inside of like a baking thing, and then just pours cheese on it and puts it in the oven for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my family's it's not an enchilada, but my family's thing that was like one of my favorite foods is a chili cheese burrito. All right, and it's literally just like meat with chilies or chili sauce or whatever on it, and then you wrap it up in a fucking burrito shell thing, and then you like put American cheese and more chili and stuff on top of it, and you cook it in the oven, and it's so fucking.
Sounds so good.
Yeah, it is good. But also, like, I went to the store the other day, and I think they're called tamales or whatever. You can buy them from like people around here for like $25 now. They're so fucking expensive. But in store, you can get a dozen of them for like $7. and I was like, I've been buying those, and like I'm just like, I wish I could just make these at my house. Like, they're so good. But I did the same thing with Taco Bell though. Like when I worked there, like I never make quesadillas or anything, but like I could easily make that stuff in my house, and I just never do it. I never think about it, but sometimes I'm just like, man, quesadilla sounds really good.
Contact.
Bro. My favorite thing that I used to get so fucking often that I was addicted to is quesadillas from Taco Bell. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That ass, I used to like, because I used to work at a restaurant and it was in a mall, and the upstairs had a food court with Taco Bell, and I would buy like sometimes 2, maybe 3. Like I would buy one before work, like buy all of them at once, have one before work so I have something in my stomach. I go on my lunch break, have that. And if I didn't eat 2 before my, if I don't eat like 2 and I have my third later on, I'll just take it home and just eat that shit, bro. Like that shit was like my poison.
Things like I don't know, like Taco Bell stuff. I land my ship back to buy more sucker punches, and the other sucker punch is back in my ship.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got fat, like on Taco Bell stuff, even though their stuff doesn't seem like it'd be that fattening. But also, like working in fast food has made me not really like fast food as much. Nowadays,
Understandably
like
so.
I still go sometimes. It's not like I got a problem with fast food. It's just I know the people that work in fast food now. That's the thing that gets me, because like there's a bunch of drug addicts and people not washing their hands, and you got like dudes drooling and shit, and like not doing things properly, and I'm just like, God, I'm eating this shit. Like, yeah, that's what got me. But yeah.
Understandable.
But I want a bigger kitchen. I wish I had like a kitchen that was like the fast food places. I used to be able to clean kitchens like for Taco Bell and stuff so damn fast. Like I could get that whole place spotless in like 30 minutes. And like, why can't you do that with a house kitchen? You know?
Just turn your house kitchen into a restaurant style kitchen with the floors and everything, the drain in the very middle and everything. So you just dump a whole like bucket of water onto the floor.
That's the way to do it, man. Just it'd be so fast. And then also like, I don't know if I like the stainless steel, but like just wiping off the stainless steel stuff or whatever is pretty quick. And then like the sink thing, like I would buy one of those sink things from like who the fuck needs a small ass little bitty sink when that thing was like, you pour water and stuff in, you turn it on, and it tumbles all your dishes until they're like clean.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The fucking sink jacuzzi.
Yeah. That's something that pissed me off when I was, because I like all of our managers and stuff quit, and I basically took over, and I ended up pissing off the people that were working under me, like because they were teenagers and shit, and they don't understand anything. They think their work is hard, but it wasn't. And they would try to slack off so damn much. And there's like a person doing like, we need them for like giving orders and stuff out the window. I can't do everything by myself. And like, I got so good at the job that I could do everything. I could basically do everything by myself without any help. So like the guy who was like deep frying shit, I would just deep fry the shit. Like I didn't need anybody. And then doing the dishes, it was literally like you put the stuff in the thing, you push the tumble button, it tumbles, and then throughout the day you just go back there and you pick it out and you wash it and then you put it up. And so like you would have like little periods you go and do it. And then there's a chick who was on the window that kept saying that she wanted to do dishes, and then when I did that, she would just completely abandon what she was doing and sit there at the dish station all day. and like wash dishes the slowest I've ever seen. And I was just like, Jesus. But she got so mad at me because I was like, I would walk over there and be watching her, and then eventually I was just like, no, we're not doing it. Like, I'll do it. Like, just fucking, you know, because you can't get them to like
Yeah.
walk over there. Like, if you want to do the dishes, just walk over there every, 15 minutes or whatever when you have nothing else to do, and go and do like a couple things. But
Yeah, bro. I've definitely worked with definitely a couple of people who do that shit, but they do it on purpose so they can slack off and take your time just doing the dishes.
yeah. Well, they were taking smoke breaks or whatever, like every 3 minutes. Like, it was crazy. Like, every time there's a downtime, they would go outside, and I was sitting in there doing dishes and fucking cleaning and shit. Well, really, like, what pissed them off the most, though, was because I was cleaning and stuff, but you know how, like, you're supposed to clean behind, like, cabinets and shit? Like, in the really tight places? I didn't really do that all the time, and I was just, like, I handle everything else, and I was just like, but like before y'all guys leave or whatever, just find like one crack somewhere and clean it. And then like throughout the week, everything would be clean because the cracks aren't going to get that dirty all the time. And then that like sent them over the top because I tried to make them do some stuff, and then they made it their life's goal to get me fired after that. But it's I don't know if I would do it again, to be honest, but it wouldn't have been that bad if I didn't have to do the grill and shit.
Trust me.
Get stuck on it all day.
Trust me, I understand. I tried going back into the fast food related like field, and I did 2 weeks, and I was like, yeah, no, I quit. Like, I can't get back into this shit. And like, I'd rather go deliver pizzas or some shit. And that's literally what I did. I quit and I went and delivered pizzas, and that's all I fucking did.
Yeah, there was a pizza guy I talked to once that said he made a ton of money doing deliveries, but I don't know if I trusted him to do it. But also, you couldn't just be a delivery guy; you had to work inside too. So I was like,
the place I worked at, it was purely a delivery job. The only thing is that at the end of the night, you help with the dishes.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Because literally all I did was just either slack off a little bit. I'd help because I was bored. I'm like, yeah, let me help out. Let me cut some pizzas and shit, just because I wanted to, not because I had to.
Oh, you have to when they decide you have to. That's
yeah. No, I'd be like, nah, bro, I'm gonna go back. Oh yeah, is that so? Like that place, I was just like, okay, yeah, bet. I'm just gonna go back to delivering pizzas only. Fuck you.
They just don't pay a lot around here. It's like $8 or something like that. Just like,
yes, because you make most of your money in tips.
I'm just saying, like inside the store and stuff too. Like every position's like $8. That's what, like, I just don't know about all that. But sometimes I think about picking up like another little side job throughout the week, getting like a couple $100s. Then another part of me is like, if I could just find something that pays better, and then work that one instead of working the crappy $8 an hour job.
Right.
But I get bored. I work weekends, 16s and 12s, so I got like 4 days that I don't really do anything, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I work every weekend, Thursday to Sunday, 10-hour shifts.
Nice.
Nights.
I don't know, like, when I first started working my first 10 and my first 12, like, it was kicking my ass, and like I didn't like it at all. And if I was doing like a lot of manual labor, I probably still wouldn't either, but like, I feel like I could pick up 2 more 16s and then still have 2 days off. If people, if the jobs would actually let you do that, I don't know, but like, I think I could do it.
I get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off guaranteed.
Yeah. I would take Monday, Thursday off, work 2 16s Tuesday, Wednesday, and then like work my normal thing on the weekend, and I think I'd be fine with it.
Also, I have a mercenary bounty hunter guild mission
Hmm.
for the new
Quantum travel complete.
the new PAF sites,
Yep.
and that confused the shit out of me. And I was trying to do them earlier today, but like all my bounties, all my contracts were immediately getting like deleted, and I was like, okay, cool.
Oh, the
But I'm doing it for
Hathor
the first
things.
time.
The
Yeah,
PF.
the
Yeah,
the mining laser areas.
that is interesting. I mean, free money, but
They want me to get rid of a bounty, which I don't see where the fuck he's at. I think he's on the ground.
I don't know if I want to go back to the Hathor things or not. 'Cause, like, I'm fine like doing it, but I thought about going and trying to bomb some people or something, but
Yeah, I bought a C1 bomber, I think it is, or C2.
mm,
I think it's a C1. I don't know, but I bought one for the spirit one, and just like, oh yeah, let me have fun with this. I ended up not even using it yet.
yeah, people were already asking for that to get nerfed or price change or something the other day. As soon as people start using it, you know.
Oh, little quiet babies. I mean, it is pretty cheap.
Warning.
I think it's slightly more expensive than the regular spirit, but it's decently cheap compared to. I mean, the blast radius is so tiny compared to the A2 bomber.
Yeah, I mean those two. I think the cost is really going to be the ammo. Either way,
Mm-hmm.
it's a cheap ship, but it's going to be expensive to run. So.
Oh yeah, those fucking bombs are expensive. What am I supposed to do for this mission?
Kill.
Gotta locate and neutralize this guy.
I don't remember what I was watching the other day. It was either like maybe a voiceover to a video, or maybe it was actually the ship was talking. You know, like when you kill people with the ship, it like says like kill or whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like listening to that, and I was like, I really kind of wish that they had the Halo thing. Like, killing spree,
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro, and just like, you know, just a ship that did that would be cool. Cause I was watching that video. He killed like 8 people on it. And I was like, damn, like, nuts.
Spectacular.
There's some noises in Star Citizen that are like, I swear, from Halo. Like you have you're tractor beaming something with like the small tractor beam, and you get to where like the tractor beam's gonna break or whatever. It sounds like the
ghost.
Yeah, I think it's the ghost. Yeah, there's like stuff like that where it's just like there's a lot of things that like I get nostalgia for in Star Citizen that aren't really due to Star Citizen, and then they have like their missions and stuff are like cinematic, but they don't they're like awkward. They're like sci-fi awkward, not like sci-fi Master Chief iconic, you know. But
I think I'm gonna spend like 20 hours trying to look at this fucking bounty / merc mission.
So you're telling me if I put these guns on another ship, I can then farm these guns?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be testing that theory.
I don't know, that's assuming that the freight elevator doesn't eat the guns and makes them disappear like they did my attractions that I looted off of somebody else's ship.
To the ASOP
Well, I
vehicle
can't
retrieval
take them off
system.
the ship, so I'm gonna have to like take them off of the other thing. But
Your vehicle has been moved to us to please visit us.
You know that apparently you can cook lasagna with raw meat? Like you don't have to cook it first?
I never knew that.
This isn't my ship, is it? Shouldn't be. I never knew that either, but like it would make sense.
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, it's just kind of weird, but it didn't seem like it. Like, because I was curious the other day, and I like asked the Alexa, and they were talking about it. And I was like, oh. It's like you cook like 40 minutes, and then you take the thing off, and you cook again for like 20. But I don't have any tin foil, so I think I'm gonna use like a metal pan over the top of a glass pan and see if that works. And I bought these noodles that were like you don't have to cook them or something.
What happened?
They're like pre-made noodles that you can just like set in a pan and cook them, and they're done or something.
Huh.
I don't understand it all, but
Science.
yeah, a lot of chemicals, I'm sure. Hopefully it's good. I hope my hamburger meat's still good, because I bought it last week, but it's gonna be good. Vehicles. Banu Defender. What's the smallest ship that can hold size 3s that has like the shortest reclaim time?
Good question. Next question.
Why do the ship's weapons always have to have like the weirdest possible combination? Bullshit.
Grab something to drink. Be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so size 3.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I don't think the Arrow.
I think they're size 2s.
I think it's 2 size 3s and 2 size 1s.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back.
That or have the Sulian.
Please visit us again.
Arrow with sucker or singe cannons seems that's kind of interesting to think about, to be honest.
A what?
Arrow with singe cannons.
Mm.
Because it's nimble.
I wonder what a Hornet would be. With it, even that or the F8. Because it's got all those size 3 spots.
Yeah, I needed to see, because that's what I was curious, because I was pretty sure that they had nerfed the F8 to have size 2s. Like on some of them, but if they were all size
4
3s...
and 4. 4 2s, 4 3s.
Oh,
yeah, see, that would be the problem. But I could probably make it work.
So remember when we used to have a problem with the Reclaimer, and because they added an update where ships fucking disappear as soon as you destroy them?
Yeah, when you touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you couldn't touch it or it would wig out.
Yeah, it's doing that again, or at least something very similar.
Oh, that blows. I actually have be about 750 SCU in mine right now.
To the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle, please visit us again.
Alright, so theoretically, I might be able to peel these off with my bare hands. Do I have to like? So I pull them off, and then I have to destroy the ship, or can I just
I
like
guess
destroy the ship?
the process is you can't do it really in your hangar. You have to take it somewhere, and then once you hit claim on the ASOP for the ship, you can do whatever you want to the old ship. So like unlock it, unlock the port, and then claim it, and then do whatever you want to the ship.
Yeah, so I need like another person basically.
Yeah, or a spot near a planet you can do it at, or something like that.
Can't you self-destruct it while it's in your hangar?
I think if you can, yeah, but I don't know if you can self-destruct stuff.
I couldn't pull it off though, because I tried yanking it off. But I feel like I should be able to like shoot it or something and knock it off of the ship. If I had, I guess I could spawn an Ursa and try to break it.
Apparently, weapons do have a durability. So. Be mindful of that.
I ain't gonna lie, the singes on the arrow look kinda nice.
So what are you guys doing?
Salvaging right now.
Nice.
Trying to farm Banu Singe Cannons. For
Also
testing
nice.
purposes.
I'm was trying to do that Merc mission, but Aberdeen is glitched, so there was no NPC spawning. Is my Beetle on? Or should it be on? Are Lenny here down? They're not down.
I haven't been able to get Fathead to answer me the last few days. Ever since he sent me that friend request while we're doing the Hathor thing, or the party request, he hasn't answered. So I think he's upset. He's a Fathead. He's usually who I've been hanging out with on Star Citizen, but we had a plan to go and farm Copian that day, and I got on, and y'all were like doing Hathor, so I went over there because he wasn't on, and then in the middle of that, when I was stuck in that cave, he sent me that party request.
I mean, if he's upset over that, that's pretty childish.
I don't know. Maybe he's busy or something. But... Okay, let's try self-destruct.